Hello and welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And the last time ever we cleared the first half of Chapter 8. And now let's get back into it with the second half of the final witch trial. Luke and I made our way past the guard post. Twould only be... Luke and I made our way past the guard post. It would only be a matter of time before we reached the tower itself. I assume the trial must have started by now. I have the utmost confidence that Mr. Wright will do all he can to defend Miss Cantabella. I believe the key to saving Miss Cantabella lies somewhere within this tower. Let's press on before it's too late.
It's so quiet in here. There's not a sound to be heard.
Let's be very careful though, Luke. The puzzle we just dealt with is not necessarily the only one in place here.
Right you are, Professor.
Let's proceed with caution. So, we have 3 hint coins. One's here. Left torch. Middle. And the snorkel on the floor. So let's look at the cage.
This is what I think it is. It looks like a lift.
Indeed it does. It looks a lot like the kind of lift with which we are well acquainted.
But we haven't seen anything else like this since we arrived in Labyrinthia.
Yes, quite. In truth, I didn't think machinery of this sort existed here. I wonder what's used as a source of power.
Yeah, since there seems to be no other way up, does that mean we get to ride it?
Indeed, that would seem the most logical course of action. I must say I find the presence of such a device most intriguing. But we can't stand around pondering such things now. There'll be time for that later. Onwards and upwards, my boy.
Right then, let's go.
I know I keep saying this, Luke, but bear in mind that we must proceed with caution.
I'm with you on that one, Professor. Professor, we stop. What's going on here? Are we trapped?
No, I don't believe so, Luke. Although I do get the feeling that something is about to happen.
Something, Professor? What do you mean by something?
Luke, stand close to me.
Okay.
Puzzle 65, Tower of Terror. This puzzle's worth 30 picodots. A stone statue stands before you. Beneath it lies a panel of what appears to have once been a crest of some kind. Now just joined a mess. Move the panels by touching the arrows that connect them, and rearrange the pieces so that the crest is correctly displayed. Touch the arrows on the touch screen below to swap the selected pieces. Rearrange the pieces and complete the crest. Be careful as there is a limit to a number of times you can move pieces. Right then. Today's daytime. Like so. Okay. So here we are to swap the middle and right pieces. right.
Let's see if I've proven myself. That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
There you go. That's one. Correct. You can sense the approaching presence of a formidable foe in the shadows.
Oh, we've started moving again.
It would seem this entire lake itself is another puzzle. I don't believe what you're saying clearly. This may take... Stopped again.
We stopped again. Another stage of the puzzle.
Indeed, it would appear to be the case.
I'll take on this one, Professor.
Alright, but don't overexert yourself. We need to work together to solve the rest of the puzzle.
Roger that.
$66. Tower of Teller 2. This one's worth 40 picodots. Same rules apply. Alright, so this time, another, again, 4. 4 turns. So, we are going to swap this here with the one below it. Piece. Left. Right.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills. That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
Indeed it was. Come a long way. Keep it up.
I'll get it, Professor.
You certainly did. Well done.
But we're still not there yet, are we? Just how fast is this going to take us?
Judging by all the stages thus far, whoever put this puzzle in place is certainly keen that we don't reach the top easily. We still can't afford to let our guard down.
Stopped again.
Well, then allow me to take this one. $67. Tower Teller 3. This is worth 50 picarots. Same rules apply here, except it has 6 turns. Okay, so what we need to do here is to switch the top middle and top right. Then the bottom right and middle. So switch the bottom right. restart. I said I am going to do a restart. Just so I can do this. Alright. Top, middle, and right. Bottom and middle. Middle and middle right. Bottom left. And left middle. Bottom left and left. Let me do that over. I think I screwed up somewhere. Top, middle, and right. Top, middle, middle, right. Let's see what they want me to do here. Slider puzzles, the bane of my existence. That's why I'm making sure I'm looking at this really, really carefully. Top, middle, middle, right. bottom right, and middle. Middle. That's it. That's it.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
Had to make sure.
Come what may, puzzles are there to be solved.
Yes, they are. They're there to be solved. Man, it took me like wait, let me see if I'm doing this right. I had to look at it really carefully. So that's the reason why you didn't hear anything from me. Excellent.
That was an exceedingly difficult puzzle.
The next stop must be our destination.
I think you're probably right, Luke.
Well, this is it, Professor.
It seems we have arrived at last.
Wow, this is certainly different. There are flowers and plants everywhere. I can even see a water wheel over there.
It is a beautiful place.
This evening breeze is a little chilly.
That's true. It's ordinary tea.
So, is this the storyteller's garden then?
I think that's probably a safe assumption, Luke.
It's a secret garden, Luke.
Judging by the abundance of water and rose bushes, it's being well taken care of. I'd be inclined to say the tower seems more akin to a castle.
Who'd have imagined we'd end up in a beautiful place like this? Let's investigate.
That's the reason why I'm doing this. Alright. Pink coins. Pink coins. Pink coins. We have one. Oh, roof garden. Okay. That's where we are at the roof garden. The bottom right flower vase. The spiky tree. That spiky tree right there in the background. And the window on the right tower. And we're to look at the left tower.
This building's really something else. I guess this part must be the storyteller's house. Espella must have lived there when she was younger.
Yes, indeed. This must have been a family home.
A family? I wonder if she had any plans to ever come back here.
No matter where she goes or what she does, family's family. This will always be her home. I say it's highly likely that she would wish to come back here someday.
I suppose so, even if a family was only the two of them.
The relationship between Espella and her father may well prove to be an important clue.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Huh?
What's the matter, Luke?
It's nothing. I can probably see things, but for a moment there, I thought I saw something moving at the top of the tower. Sorry, it must have been my imagination. Let's go inside, Professor.
And now we go to the child's room.
This appears to be a child's room.
Certainly it looks that way. From its condition, I'd say it hasn't been used for some time. Presumably, it was used by Espella as a child.
Why? So this is where Espella grew up. Something pretty big must have happened to make her leave home so young. I wonder how Espella and Storyteller used to get on together.
Espella's a young lady of strong conviction and a kind heart. I'm certain that's because she grew up with a fine home environment. In other words, I'm sure she and her father must have spent some quality time here together.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're right about that. Well, Espella, this place must be full of precious memories. I must feel like we're intruding, coming in here like this.
But Luke, we've no choice if we wish to save Espella.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But you put it like that, I guess she wouldn't mind even if she knew.
And there are hint coins here, like these teacups on the table. The pillow next to the bed. And the left. This ornament right here on the left side. And let's zoom in on this bed here.
Crikey! Professor, behind that curtain! There's some... There!
The mysterious figure turned out to be... Azukin Chacha!
It's just a door. That's a relief. I thought it was in my mouth.
Espella must have played with this doll as a child.
Eh? Oh, what's this? Look, Professor, there's a child's picture book in here. It tells the first story.
It would appear to be a handmade children's picture book.
I wonder if it was written especially for Espella.
It may well have been. Evidently, a great deal of care has been put into the writing and illustrations. There was a bad witch in the town. goods in the field disappeared, and all the money in the bank was turned into pumpkins. The people of the town had to put up with all kinds of mischief from the witch. They didn't know what to do. Then one day a brave young girl appeared and said to the townsfolk,
"When the witch uses witchcraft, she always uses a big stick, doesn't she? So if we take away her stick, we'll be able to stop her."
After hearing this, the people of the town set a trap for the witch and managed to capture her. At her trial, the bad witch said to the people,
"Even now, the legendary Great Witch Espella is living here in this town. Espella is the queen of all the witches. She's the one who gives us witches life."
the townsfolk punished the witch, and peace was restored to the town once more. To this day, Espella is still hiding somewhere in the town. But the brave townsfolk will not be beaten by the bad witches.
But I thought there would be a fairy tale about Espella. She's a mysterious character, alright.
Tell me, Luke, why do you think the author chose to write about Espella in a children's picture book?
Well, maybe to make their child behave. Something like, if you don't do as you're told, Espella will come and get you.
You know how funny that is? Like, in order to tell a bad child to behave, you have to do that. You have to basically, put them into scared straight. Yes, indeed. That is a possibility. Still, I have to wonder. Why is it that some lowly witch was caught, and not the great Espella herself? He asked the same thing about Carmen Sandiego.
I suppose it's a bit strange. If Espella herself had been caught, the story could have been brought to a more conclusive ending. Do you think there's some other reason?
Certainly a possibility. I don't suppose there are any other handmade picture books in the room apart from this one.
Handmade picture books. I don't see any.
Few seconds. I had to get that one out too. Excuse me.
I don't see any. I guess that must be the only one.
Which would imply this book has some special significance.
I guess so. After all, it is handmade. I bet she really treasured it. Do you think it was like the storyteller who wrote this book?
Handwriting does seem very similar to that of the story. The book appears to have been written with a touch more care and attention, but I imagine it was the storyteller who wrote it.
He must have written it as a gift from father to daughter. That actually seems really thoughtful. Even if the story seems itself a little scary. I'd like to take this book to Espella.
Yes, let's do just that, Luke. We must take good care of it. And we get the first story. I believe we've seen all there is to see here. Let's press on. Enter the storyteller's room.
What do you make of this room, Professor? It's not very tidy.
It appears to be at the very top of the tower. The parchment lying on the floor here seems very similar to the type on which the storyteller writes his stories. I think we can say with certainty that this is the storyteller's room.
Oh, this is the storyteller's room? I was imagining something a bit grander like a throne room with all kinds of posh decorations.
While I agree that it's a little eccentric, it's unmistakably the study of an author. Yep, that's right. We authors really don't give a shit about being clean. We're messy in nature because that's how our head works. We have so much going that technically we're mentally a mess inside, and that's part of our genius.
He probably spent
All his time in here continuously writing those stories.
the stories. I wonder what Espella thought of it all. My father writing stories for all the townsfolk of me. I wonder if she looked forward to seeing the new stories completed or if she...
The stories were probably a little too mature and content for a young child. See, anime! I don't imagine the storyteller would have shown Espella many.
But in the case she showed, she can't have had many opportunities to even talk to her father, given how busy he was. I guess that means she was pretty young then. It must have been hard for her, even knowing how important the stories are for the people of the town. But I don't think it's wrong. No child should be unable to talk with their father.
Oh god, that hits deep. I gotta make a screenshot of that. This is true right here. No child should be unable to talk with their father or mother. I mean, no child should ever feel like that. Like, they should always want to come to their parents and talk to them, spend time with them. It's like the other way around. Whenever a child says, "Daddy, Mommy, watch me," they want your attention. And even older, you know, you really want to come to them and, you know, ask them a question and, you know, give them a hug and say, "Hey," let them know you're there. And I can say that's what I actually did growing up. It's like, I gave a hug just for the reason of saying, "Hey, I know you're there, so I just want to let you know." I just want to let you know I'm here. I absolutely agree. I believe it will be important in the upcoming trial to have an understanding of Espella's feelings to her father.
Professor,
Knowing you, Luke, I'm sure you must have had a lot of things on your mind at the moment. So if there's anything at all that you want to talk about, you will tell me, won't you?
of course I will, Professor.
I'm always ready to listen, Luke. Now then, shall we start investigating this room? So, wow, that's a lot. But there are 3 hint coins here, and that's the doll in front of the piano, the drawn picture to the right, and the statue-like thing to the right of the writer's desk.
Look, Professor, a photograph! Wait, I don't think they even had photographs in this town.
Indeed, it's not the kind of thing one would have expected to find here.
Too right. I certainly haven't seen any cameras since we got here. There's no doubt that this is a photo, though. What could it mean?
This may be in some way related to the tower being so closely protected. What do you see in the photograph?
There are two children, both young girls.
The photo looks quite old, doesn't it? And they look like two oddly striking characters that you've seen throughout the entirety of the story. Like this, the one on the right, or rather the one on the left, I should say. The one on the left looks like Espella, and the other one on the right looks like Doctor. The meaning of death.
I wonder who they are.
Well, one of them is surely Espella. There can be little doubt about that.
Hey, you're right. You look at that pendant. It's the same one Espella always wears. The
fact that she's continued to wear it ever since shows just how important that pendant must be to her.
What about this other girl? Do you think she's a friend of Espella's?
Indeed, I'd wager the two of them were rather close friends of that.
They do look pretty chummy, alright. See, they even have the same pendant.
Glimpse into Espella's past. This may well prove to be an important clue. I would like to ask her about it face to face. Let's bar it for the time being.
I wonder if there are any other clues knocking around.
Well, I'd say the something that you thought you saw moving earlier is a point worth pursuing.
But isn't this the last room of the tower? I must have just been imagining things.
Not necessarily, Luke. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a way of getting beyond even this room. Let's look around more closely.
Right, yeah, Professor.
We get a picture of two girls. And then we look at this one, right here.
Oh, this is...
What is it, Luke?
this letter on top of the piano. This was evidence during that trial.
That trial, my boy.
Yes, the trial about Sir death. The trial when you were...
You mean when I was turned to gold? In which case, this letter is the one that the storyteller's Owl Hoot gave us after we last paid him a visit.
Yes, it is, but that letter was completely blank, wasn't it?
Indeed it was.
That was meant to be Sir Berduke's suicide note, which he addressed to the storyteller.
His suicide note, you say?
But Sir Berduke's butler swapped the letter for some plain sheets of parchment before it got delivered. And those blank sheets were given to us by Mr. who knew something was strange about them.
I see. Certainly Miss Tuttle with some intriguing developments during my absence.
The suicide note was revealed at the trial. But how has it ended up here?
Well, I imagine that's quite simple, Luke. It's likely that after the trial finished, the letter was returned to its rightful owner, so we think. It was addressed to the storyteller, after all.
Right, I guess that makes sense. I suppose the storyteller finally had a chance to read it then.
Yes, in fact, it would be reasonable to assume that he most likely did so very recently, perhaps even today while sitting at the piano. What on earth is going through his mind here before their final parade? There's something we're not seeing here. We need to investigate this closely, Luke.
What could it be? Surely this is not a trap of some kind.
It's unlikely that a trap will be so obvious. Just a moment. There's some kind of puzzle in this piano. And there is! Puzzle 68. Musical score. This puzzle's worth 50 picadors. Below the stained glass windows written, when the stars have aligned, the goddess shall pluck her harp, bring forth her serene song, rearrange the notes to create a lovely melody. Oh wow, that was like, just like that. Okay. Rearrange the notes again. Once you've decided on the answer, touch submit to see if it is correct. I'm gonna do this. Yes, I'm making sure, so. Okay. 2 seconds here. Okay, so what I am looking at is I made a screenshot of how it should look. So let me adjust my screen just a bit more, just so I can do the following, which is the solution as well as what the screenshot is showing me. 2 seconds. Okay. Should look like this. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm following. No, I'm actually looking at the notes carefully. We'll find out.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills. An ingenious puzzle, but a tricky one.
No. That's why I'm doing that. That's the reason why I did that. So it's not this. Okay, these two are right. It should be like this. Do this again.
I've already seen the answer. An ingenious puzzle.
It really is. That's why I'm doing this. So this.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
Nope. That's not it either. I think that's it. I think this is the one. This is the one. This has to be the one.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
That's it!
You should expect no less from a gentleman.
That's it. That's how you do it. Good thing what I did was I took a screenshot of the answer on the top screen, because that's what I need. I need the top screen. It's like doom 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 doom. And with that, there you go. There's your answer. It's just about a line of notes. Hey, didn't say it was perfect, but it'll do. Superb! A loud bang rings through the air as the celestial globe adorning the ceiling begins to move.
Look, Professor! A stairway just appeared. Could there be another room above this one?
I have a feeling that the rooftop we saw from the garden continues above here.
Oh, I can see what you mean, Professor. It's really dark in here, but moonlight seems to be coming in from up above.
Well, there's no turning back now. The answer to the biggest mystery of all is surely waiting for us ahead.
I think so too, Professor. I wonder what on earth it could be.
The next step in the storyteller's story, if I'm not mistaken.
The next step? But The story has already finished, hasn't it?
Not yet, Luke. It's still a little too soon for the ending.
We still got 3 more parts to go. Alchemist Suicide Note.
I had a feeling that you, of all people, would make it this far.
It's you!
I thought so. You are still alive. Professor Layton, I've had enough of your running around, flagrantly contravening the flow of my story. As such, I can no longer ignore your meddling.
Professor!
Thank you, my boy.
Puzzle 69! Nice. Battle Wits. This puzzle worth 70 picadons. All that the storyteller writes is destined to come true. Your opponent's attacks are no exception. Memorize the storyteller's tale and deflect your opponent's predetermined moves. Enemies' light will appear in accordance with the storyteller's tale. Memorize the order of their attacks and deflect them using the knight's own moves against them. Touch the attack items on the touchscreen below in the order that you think they appear. Once you have selected the order, touch submit to see if your answer is correct. I'm afraid you're rolling the story instead, Professor. Now allow me to write the tale of your demise. The knight drew his blade. As the battle came to a close, he raised his blade overhead and delivered the finishing blow. So therefore, upper left, upper right, lower right, upper left. Well played, Professor. But how will you fare in this tragic tale? A new knight stepped in for his fallen comrade. He slashed quickly, delivering 3 blows before finishing the battle with a 3-hit combo. In the order: upper middle, upper right, lower middle, upper left, lower right, lower left. Think you worked it out. Let's see if you can predict the ending of this final chapter. The final knight drew his sword as he attacked. He began to vanish into thin air. His movements veiled in the embrace of the shadows. Okay, so in that order: upper left, lower left. Upper right, lower middle, lower right, Up the middle. Ha!
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills. Ah, the joy of solving puzzles.
Ah, the joy of having a list. Marvelous! In this case, 'twould seem that the pen is not stronger than the sword. But it sure as hell can be mighty most times.
Professor, behind you!
I wonder if they got that idea from Neo Cooney too.
Professor!
I'm fine, Nick.
Well now, that was close.
Yeah.
Storyteller, I'm afraid that the power of your pen is no longer absolute. You never fail to impress me, Professor Layton. Just tell me one thing. What exactly are you trying to achieve? You could say, I'm trying to lift the veil that hangs over the town.
Mind you, same voice actor.
If that is indeed the case, the answer lies in the final story. This very evening, the great witch Espella will be tried, and all stories will end. You should take your place in the gallery and observe the final trial. Permit me, if I may, to ask you a question, Mr. Storyteller.
Why are you putting your child through all this kind of shit?
Why is it that you are here? What? You too should be watching in the gallery, watching as your twisted story unfolds.
After all, you have the mindset of Yoshiyuki Kill-'em-all Tamino.
My twisted story? What do you mean by that?
Don't you realize? You're Kill-'em-all Tamino!
You must surely be aware that your story has already become twisted.
After all, you made Gundam. You made Ideon.
Take our arrival in this town, for instance. Not to mention our being here at this very moment.
As an author and a writer, I would never go that route. And even if I do, that's only because someone earned it.
Neither of these things could have happened in the story you wrote.
Unless if they really, really, really pissed you off.
In other words, what I am saying is that you are no longer the weaver of the tale.
But you are indeed part of the story itself. I mean, most mangaka have actually done that. They've actually become part of their story. It's like, you got, Shotaro Ishinomori. He was a part of Kamen Rider. Shoji Kawamori. Yoshiyuki Tomino. And of course, the late great Akira Toriyama. All part of their own tale, in some form, but they put themselves in their own story. Oh, and on top of that, we also have the late great Stan Lee. And I've done it myself, you know. I became my own character in my own book. It is as you say. The story I've crafted has indeed become twisted, out of proportion by someone else's emotions. I'm not surprised that you realize. Seems nothing passes by those sharp eyes of yours. That is exactly why I decided to write the grand finale. To prevent any further distortion. Do you mean to suggest that by ending the story, you could return this town to its original state? To its original state, you say? I'm afraid that is not the case. The entire truth behind Labyrinth is sealed by a single spell. That's right, the final spell. The final spell, you say? When that spell is invoked, Labyrinth's true form will become clear to you.
What kind of spell is that?
It is a spell that has always been hidden within plain view.
What's that supposed to mean?
Essentially, the final spell is concealed at the start.
The final spell is concealed at the start? What are you talking about?
I thought you two took it upon yourselves to unravel mysteries, do you not? Do what you will. Very well. Now then, I believe there's just one thing that you may wish to hear. And what would that be? Firstly, what would you say if I told you that this twisting of your story is leading towards a grand finale quite different to the one you had planned? What do you mean? This evening, you supposedly gave up your life to the great witch Espella, did you not? As a result, the person thought to be Espella is being tried in court at this very moment. Now, if you'll permit me to ask, do you happen to know the name of the accused? Naturally, I wrote the name myself. There can be no question. Of course, the name of the accused is Espella Canterbury. What are you saying? You mean my Espella's? Yes, the accused at this evening's trial is none other than Espella Canterbury. That can't be. That's preposterous. This is your doing. What have you done, Layton? You asked me what I've done, Mr. Storyteller. I am but a solver of puzzles and mysteries. I do not concern myself with scheming. No. How is she the accused? Perhaps you ought to go and see for yourself, Mr. Storyteller. Do you think it's a good idea to just stand here lamenting your daughter's fate? What should be done? Well, Mr. Storyteller, I will be returning to the court. I'd like to witness this grand finale with my own eyes. Yes, before I leave, there's just one thing I'd like to make clear. I do not intend to simply take my place in the gallery and observe the trial. Naturally, there's only one place for me to stand in order to unravel all of these mysteries. You mean to say that you will stand as the defender? Unfortunately, the defender's position is already taken. Moreover, Mr. Storyteller, I am the one who knows the truth. The true identity of the great witch Espella, that is. How can you know? There's only one place at which I should stand in order to assert such a fact, and that is not on the side of the defense. Surely you can't mean. I anticipate seeing you again, Mr. Storyteller. that leaves us to be continued. In what will be the final episode. So I am definitely going to say yes to the okay and the dokay, and we are going to overwrite Chapter 7's clear to Chapter 8. Which will lead us to Chapter 9, The Last Inquisitor. So, in our next episode, I'm pretty sure I can say this. In our next episode, we are going to deal with Chapter 9 in full, The Last Inquisitor. So stay tuned as we head into Chapter 9 in full, as we close in on the end of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. See you in the next part.